That's the problem. You don't want to be in a situation where you get a put, right? This happened luckily, okay? So implied volatility was still high, all right? So the option contract, was still expensive. So you made money on your delta going down, but you didn't make that much because it was just the delta, okay? It wasn't the implied volatility. You want to be right on direction and implied volatility. So the best time you would get a put is in a situation where this implied volatility, right, was low like this, but we were up here, okay? So if it's low like this and we're up here at the top, the option contracts are cheap. And the only way implied volatility gets cheap is when we start consolidating, in periods where we start consolidating. So if the implied volatility is low, you can only get calls and puts when we're in a phase like this where implied volatility starts to simmer down. Because if we have a big explosive movement to the downside or to the upside, most likely we're going to have it to the upside. There's like 99% chance. Not financial advice, but it is. You want to make money from huge pullbacks on low implied volatility. On low implied volatility, not high, okay? Low implied volatility. That way you can make money on your options, all right? And I stress that. Now, later on, I'll start talking more about shorted puts. When you're shorting a put, it's different. You want to short a put on high implied volatility. Now, what do I mean by that? Shorted puts are different from long puts. When you short a put, you are selling a put to a put buyer, okay? The put buyer is betting against a put. A put buyer is buying a put, okay? They're betting against AMC or they're just hedging their position, okay? But when you're shorting a put, it's a bullish strategy. It's the inverse of a put. You're making money when the put becomes worthless, all right? Not financial advice. I'm not telling you to short puts, okay? Because they have risk also, all right? And you have to understand them. But when you short a put, you're making money from the put becoming worthless. And over time, you make money, all right? So in a situation like this, we still on high implied volatility here, right? We pull back. Let's say we pull back here, right? Right at this level, implied volatility is high. And we're going to bounce here. We're going to go head higher. You would want to get a shorted put because the option premium is expensive right now. So when you sell it to the put buyer is going to be buying it on while it's expensive. So you're going to collect a lot more premium. So instead of collecting $300 from them, you might collect $1,800 from them. Okay? And the more that $1,800 you borrow becomes worthless, the more you keep. Okay? So when implied volatility is high, the more credit you receive and the more you're going to keep because it's high. If you only borrowed $300, because, you basically, you're borrowing, you're only shorting $300, you're only going to keep $300. That's not profitable, If you were to do it down here and you were to short a put, yeah, it'd go up. The stock would go up. You'll make your $300 from the delta, but you're only collecting $300. That's nothing. You might as well not even do it. It's not worth this. It's better to get a call at this point because implied volatility is low and direction's going up, okay? But the key thing is that you want to time all your options correctly. So if I feel like, okay, first thing I bet it on, you bet it on AMC. It went up, made some money from here. I bought a call, right? Soon as you bet on it going up and it's starting to make money, right? Let's say you made 10 grand right here, right? You made $10,000 right here, right? Let's just say. You made $10,000 sorry, I pointed at the wrong spot, but at the top, right? You made $10,000, all right? Now, let me erase that. You make $10,000, but you want to protect that $10,000. You don't want to buy a put right here because what did I tell you before? Implied volatility is high, so it's expensive. You'd want to, short a call option, which I still don't recommend because you can get into a bad position. Remember, when you short a call option, you're betting against a call. So you make money the more the call is worthless. Okay? So that means if prices go down underneath the call, the more that call becomes more worthless. So you actually make money from that call option being worthless. All right? This is what short hedge funds are doing on AMC is they're betting against call options and they're making money off of it. And over time, when the options expire, they collect all the premium out of it, and they collect it when implied volatility is high. But there's something called a call spread, okay? Is where you short a call, right? With, let's say, I'm going to put it as red here, right? Let's say you short a call with a strike price around right here, right? And you also buy a call right above it to protect yourself. You buy a call right here, all right? This call's going to be cheaper because it's more out of the money, okay? This, the call that you buy here where the strike price would be cheaper because it's out of the money. But the premium that you collect over here, all right, it's more expensive. So what happens is that one cancels out the other. Obviously, you're gonna collect more premium over here than you did with that green, with that long call position. But that long call position is there, okay? See, the short position here is there for you to make money from it going down on the call, okay? So you shorted a call, but you also bought a long call right here, and it makes money when the stock goes, basically directionally when it goes up. All right. But this was cheaper. Okay. This was cheaper. Cheaper. Okay. It was cheaper. All right. And this one was more expensive. The other one was more expensive. Okay. The short call option was more expensive. So let's say I spent, $3 on this one, right? But I spent $4 on this one. I spent $4 on the call option. So I get a net credit. I'm getting a net credit because I received, meaning I got credit, okay? I got a credit of $1, okay? Because I received $4 premium, which is $400 in option land, okay? But I also paid for this call here because I bought that call. I also paid for this call right here because I bought it, okay? So since I sold this one, but I bought this one, it cancels it out. So I receive a credit, not a debit. Okay. A debit means you're paying. Okay. I received a credit. All right. And usually credits will show up. It'll actually show up on your TD Ameritrade and most of your accounts. It won't show up. It'll say like this. Sometimes it looks like a loss, but it ain't a loss. An accounting, that's basically a loss. But it'll say that, or it'll say a minus sign, or it'll just say the number and then a minus sign. And it'll say credit, okay? Which means you're receiving premium, okay? So that would be $1, which would be in option world times $100, okay? So I'm receiving a net credit of $100. And I'm expecting AMC, let's say, to go down, okay? And I'm expecting the call option to be worthless, all right? So the more that call option is worthless, right, I'm collecting that whole premium from it being worthless, all right? And I'm collecting the whole $100 because the call option buyer of that sold call that I got right here, they're betting on it going up, And that call option is becoming more and more worthless as AMC starts to go down until it's worthless and completely worthless. So when time passes on those lottery tickets, which they expire really fast, I collect that $100 really quick. But if I shorted a call option that was in January, I'm screwed if I had a shorter call. But the reason I'm also teaching call spreads, I call them credit call spreads, okay? Credit vertical spreads, because we're selling a call and we're also buying a call right above it. I call it that because those make the most profit from implied volatility being high up here like this, okay? So when AMC starts to drop, it's good. Those are good to protect the calls that you originally bought down here, because you made 10 grand from this move, right? You made 10 grand, but you don't want to lose that money. So you can also bet against it, right? When you know it's going to pull back, right? Because stocks don't just go up, they pull back, all right? So when they start to pull back, a vertical call spread will work perfect to protect you from the downside and hedge yourself, hedge the gains. So that way you don't lose your $10,000. You know what I mean? You don't lose your $10,000 that much, because guess what? You're making money from it also going down on that vertical call spread. All right? And that'll protect you to the downside. And you collect all that premium from it pulling back. And guess what? When you do a vertical call spread, you're not affecting the movement. You're not affecting the stock, okay? Because options do not affect the stock until they're exercised, and become shares. Once they become shares, then it affects the price, because it's part of the public float, which is what I said. I made it in simple terms, like the cookie jar, the public cookie jar, okay, where all the option holders, all the stockholders have, okay? They all have cookies. So that was my simple way to explain it, but it doesn't affect the public float. Options do not affect it, so get that out of your head, all right? Now, because they're synthetic shares. They're not real until they're exercised. Now, you do a call right here. My strategy on what I'm doing, all right? I do a call right here, because that's the first thing. I'm betting on AMC going up, right? I do a vertical right here. You know what? Let me put it in a little more. Let me just do it like this. I'll do it by text. So we're going to say, there we go. I'm going to put it in text format. Okay. Turn that green. No, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. All right. No, it's not what I want either. Go back. There we go. So you get a call option right here. Okay. Right? That's the first thing you got. Right? But this is my strategy. And that way you can survive the games that's being played. All right? You also have the vertical call spread right here. Okay? So, wait, I got to change that text up. Vertical call spread at the peak. Okay. Vertical call spread at the peak. When it reaches a higher low, and it's still high on implied volatility because we're down here. All right. So it's still high implied volatility. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get vertical put spread. This is for folks with small accounts. Vertical put spread, okay? You want to get that. Let me shorten that. I want to get that right here, okay? Vertical put spread. It's just like the call spread, but inverse. You make money from AMC going up, but that put is becoming more worthless, and over time, you collect all that premium. And it's good because you get those vertical call spreads that are just near expiration, and they're going to expire. So when they expire, you collect premium, and you can use that dry powder when you keep collecting that premium over time. When we start getting to like right here in this level, right? We're hitting an inflection point. We're going to head higher, right? We're going to head and make an explosive movement. And, we start consolidating here, and implied volatility is starting to go lower, right? That's when you take your profit on your vertical put spread right here, okay? That's when you go and you take it. You take that money that you just made, and guess what you do with it? It's in low implied volatility. You get another call right here, but a whole more bunch of them, because now you made a bunch of money on that. You get a call option. Again, right here. Get it right at the bottom right here. Get that call option right here, because why? Why? Because implied volatility is low. And guess what? You make even more freaking money. Now you make $200,000, let's just say. Right? You make $200,000. All right? So now you made even more money, right? Let's just put it as call, because I want to screenshot this for you folks. Okay? Now, what do you think you do up here? What do you think you're going to do at this level? Look what's happening in implied volatility. It's at 400%. What do? Vertical call spread again. Oh, what do you think? Hey, what do you know? What do you know? Okay? We're going to do that again. Vertical call spread. All right, we'll put that right there. Vertical call spread. All right, and what happens? We pull back. Implied volatility is high. We get a vertical put spread. There you go, vertical put spread. All right. Put that over here. Move that right here, okay? Just need to tighten that up. Vertical put spread. Again, that's all we're doing. We are just getting, this is my strategy. So you make money from it going up. You make money from it going down. From the vertical call spread, you make money from it going sideways, collecting premium. Then as soon as you take all that money, you buy a bunch of calls, get it back up. This is not financial advice. This is my strategy, right? Then after that, you got more money in your calls now. You make money, a bunch of money on these calls, a bunch of money on these calls. You know, there's a whole bunch of money. And guess what? You're hedging it again with that vertical call spread. Boom. After that, you close out that position on the call spread. You take the money, you get a vertical put spread. And then you just keep repeating over and over and over again until eventually, you have so much money and you're either exercising those calls, that are getting close to expiration, they're in the money. And now, now you got even more money to put in, and that's going to affect the price. I'm not trying to encourage price movement. I'm just saying it does affect the price because you are becoming part of the float. You are part of the float. Those 100 shares you exercise get reclaimed back inside the float, and that creates more demand. Okay? So that's one of the strategies I'm going to talk about. We're going to get to the chart. Thank you.